account, I think it was originally from a pastor in America. It says this: on a dangerous seacoast where shipwrecks were frequent, a group of concerned citizens decided to build a rescue station. The building was just a hut, and there was only one boat, manned by the few devoted crewmen who kept constant watch over the sea. Day and night, these courageous men faced the dangers of the sea, risking their lives to save the lives of many who were shipwrecked. After a while, the station became famous. Some of those who were saved, as well as others in the community, wanted to become part of this mission. They gave their time and money to improve the quality of the station. They bought new boats. They replaced the shabby emergency cots with modern hospital beds. They even tore down the crude station hut and built a new multi-purpose facility. The station soon became a popular gathering place for its members. It wasn't noticeable at first, but over time, it looked less and less like a rescue station and more like a social club. Few members were interested anymore in actually facing the dangers at sea, so they hired life-saving professionals to do it for them. One day, a large ship wrecked off the coast, and the hired crew rescued boatloads of cold, wet, frightened people. Some of them were sick, some lost everything they owned, some were uneducated, but all were needy. The influx of shipwreck victims upset many members of the club, so the issue was addressed at the next business meeting. One leader said, "If we allow our facility to be overrun this way, it will become run down, and we all know how expensive repairs can be." Others nodded in agreement, but there was a handful of people who said, "Wait a minute. We are first and foremost a life-saving station. We can't close our doors to those who need us most." The leadership said to them, "If you're not happy with the way we do things here, go start your own station down the road, down the coast." And they did, with a small crude hut and a single boat and a few committed workers. Then this group of dedicated workers risked their lives to save those who were wrecked at sea. They saved many lives, and soon this second life-saving station became popular too. They bought new equipment and built a new facility. The members lost interest in facing the perils of rescue, but they loved to gather and talk about their sea adventures of days gone by. Soon, like the previous station, they stopped sending boats into the water. This scenario was repeated again and again throughout the years. Today, you'll find a number of exclusive clubs along the shore. Shipwrecks are still frequent in those waters, but most of the people drown. One eminent preacher calls this story an illustration of the history of the church. It could also be called an illustration of the history of many believers' lives. But this morning, it doesn't have to be about your life, and it doesn't have to be about this church. As we experience God's blessing upon us, there's no law that says we have to lose sight of our goals in life or lose sight of the mission of the church. So in a short while, a little bit later, we'll go back to that Matthew 4 chapter from last week where Jesus calls Peter and says, "Come, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." And he says immediately they left their boats and began to follow him. That is surely what the church is all about. It's about following Christ, and ultimately it's about rescuing people, isn't it? Yeah. So let's not forget. I mean, it's okay, we're only 2 weeks in, but you know what? It's a danger of every church that after a while it could become obsolete. That's a sobering thought, isn't it, for every single church, for new churches and old churches alike.